All right, guys, we're back for game number two between Happy Accidents and Average Joes. We'll see three, etc. That's right, three for ETC, baby. So we'll see if Average Joes are going to be able to turn this around in game number two. As the first game was a little rocky, but definitely not bad. I mean, there were, like I said, some weak points, but it was overall a pretty solid game for him. And thank you also, by the way, Elijah, for the host. I missed that one in all of the talking in chat simultaneously. So once again, we're going to see a Hammer ban, and the Genji ban is going to be coming out, giving some respect as well to Apparition. Now, the Deck Arcane ban, definitely still a good ban, and your Rel will also be taken off the table. This does put the first pick into the hands of Average Joes, as this was the map pick of Happy Accidents. So Happy Accidents are going to be looking to paint themselves a 4-0 here. Average Joes going to be going hella spicy here with an Abathur first pick. I really like this because there's two things you have to be concerned about now. We need to be able to get the objective without being delayed. Are they playing a solo Abathur? If they're playing a solo Abathur, what are we going to do? How are we going to deal with it? And how are we going to win versus it? Because a solo Abathur will give them a lot of poke. And that means they have additional damage because they've given up the support role. If you don't have the solo Abathur, it's still painful because the 4-man can poke, interrupt, heal up, and let Abathur get value in the meantime. And Blue Laguna getting the Muradin once again alongside. This time we will be seeing the White Main. Now, we're going to get the tried and true Diablo Phoenix combo. I think this is a little bit stronger combo for Average Joes in comparison to the Rainer with the Diablo, in that, yes, you have a Hyperion, but the Purification Salvo with the Lightning Breath generally is a lot more damage a lot more quickly. It does zone, but it's a lot better in my opinion overall. The Karazim is going to be the ban here, which is very interesting. And Blaze will be taken out of the picture as well, which means we might see Malthael, we might see a Leo, we could potentially see an ETC stage dive again. Which, if we do see, I hope that Average Joes has thought about, if we do this and they play ETC again, what are we going to do? And currently the poll is straight up a 50-50 FYI. And hopefully some more votes come in because no one likes a vote that's just straight 50-50. Now we get the Li Ming and the Rainer. This is spicy. They've taken both picks the Average Joes had, and they're now in their pocket instead for Happy Accidents. And the final picks here are going to really tell how this game's going to play. So they are going with the Leo and the Stukov with no solo support Abathur, which means they will be playing with a lot less damage, but they will also be playing with a lot more sustain. Between Leo having some decent sustain on a Muradin if he lands his Drain Hope, and the Hat, well, it could get really dicey for Li Ming in getting resets here. There's Leo and Diablo to block things. The one thing I'm concerned about is, in general, Leo is not a very tanky hero, which means that it's much easier to take him down. In the Dahaka pick from Happy Accidents, I really like this. They've given the tools to their team to be able to keep up with the soak and come on in to team fight. And Dahaka gets very tanky and provides some great team fight between his drag and the isolation. Additionally, with tissue regen, he's super hard to kill because he can tank up the damage, or tank the damage, heal up with the regen, and with the additional essence, he basically heals 75% of his life. I think Hammer, personally, is excellent on any map. Any map that you can buy Hammer time to siege and open up the objective is just a very hard scenario for a team to deal with. In usually that is. So, of these two drafts, I like Happy Accidents a little bit more. I do think that we can see some crazy action from Average Joe's, especially double cloned Phoenix. A double cloned Phoenix is double AoE autos, plasma cutters, and he can teleport in and get very aggressive with the clone. Now, it'll really come down to how well they're able to delay on both sides. The longer they can delay for Abathur, the better, because you want the game to be as long and drawn out as possible for Abathur to help you hit 10. And if you're able to hit 10, then all of a sudden the game becomes a lot easier because you now have the tool to make it a 5v5. So we are now going to jump on in here.
Prepare yourself for battle, heroes.
Ooh, getting some lag there. All right, we're back on in, and we're gonna reintroduce these two teams. We got Aegir Bombs on the Rainer. We got Blue Laguna once again on that Muradin. Frostwind on the White Mane. Apparition on the Li Ming. Park 555 on the Dahaka. And that is going to be Happy Accidents. On the other side, we got Random Task on the Diablo once again. Lepicus on the Leo. We have a TJ, the greatest, 303 on the Stukov, and Hazer on the Phoenix. And a lot of action resulting in the death of Diablo almost immediately. And Tad MG are going to be on that Abathur, and that's going to be Average Joe's. Now, the one thing I'm concerned about is that Diablo has a weak early game, especially without his souls. They can also combo with Entomb into the charge. They did pick up Devil's Due instead, though. We got the Low Blow, the Arsenal Synergy, the Regenerative Microbes, and the Consume Vitality. Other side, we have that Tissue Regen, Ace in the Hole, Martyrdom, Power Hungry, and the Third Wind, which will help them in these long drawn out engagements. Now, that's the downside of picking Diablo. And with the Abathur, it makes it a little bit harder actually to deal with. Random Task will see him and they will all collapse, but a little bit slow to actually help him here. Blue Laguna is going to help get the kill on Random, jumping on in, but the knock-on back from Aegir Bombs, and Random will be able to survive. We have Park, who has now fully committed down in this bottom lane, which now makes it a lot more awkward overall. The stun will connect. Hazer is taking a lot of damage. Levicate's leaving that lane, and they are going to actually still try to fight for this. TJ giving the pin pan coming on in. Random Task gets the stun, but Park has nowhere to go with the overpower, and now they are still getting this Sapper Camp, and they get the kill simultaneously. Now, with Abathur down here, it would have actually been better if he could have burrowed on top to soak in the meantime, as that rotation is much longer, and then had the rest of his team continue to soak down here. And they're going to pick up double Sapper Camps pretty much immediately, which is fantastic play by Average Joe's. They're going to get all three, take down one of these towers, and now we got Random Task and TJ coming on in. They probably will not be able to stop these sappers from being destroyed, but they'll continue soaking nonetheless. So level 4s are going to be hit pretty quickly here for average Joes, as they get the additional tower XP and they get both of those sapper camps, which helped them dramatically. And with some mines here, this is going to really hurt the rotation of Happy Accidents. You can see Aegir Bomb's already popping it. Blue Laguna using that body of his with that third wind to make sure that they can pop them and heal on up before the fight begins. So we got 3, technically 4 bottom, and Leo will be channeling very late at this point. So this is a little bit of a misplay. He does clear this up, or try to clear this up, but it's allowed his team to be rotated. Random coming on and win with the peel against Park, and they are now looking perfectly fine. A nice silence from TJ, going to keep him from really pushing forward or falling back safely. And the interrupt will come through. Leo is actually going to stay on top, and they're trying to get as much soak as possible. As long as no one dies here, this is going to be a very good trade. TJ going to take a lot of damage. There's the healing, and TJ will be able to make it on out perfectly fine. Random taking a lot as well, and ooh, Random just barely getting by from that Arcane Orb. So I like this play. They accepted, we're a team that scales. Let's give this up and delay it as long as possible. Leo will get the value for us. Now, we have Hero Stalker here instead of the one who collects. Fight or Flight, Unwavering Faith, Dominance, and Thunderburn. On the other side, we'll have Souls to the Flame, Vigorous Reuptake. We have Target Acquired, Sustain, and Carapace, and Ghastly Reach. So we're not getting Neil Peasants. This is a very awkward choice. The extra range definitely helps with Consume Vitality, don't get me wrong, but this means Leficus's actual laning capability is going to be much worse, let alone his capability of double soaking. At the same time, to be fair, they're going to have Abathur who can body soak simultaneously and don't really need a double lane soak in comparison to Happy Accidents. Now, Random Task coming on in, will spot him up. Dahaka is going to be coming on in, and there's the grab, there's the stun. Man, the healing's going to keep them held up for now for Random Task. They're still pushing on in the overpower. And Random is going to actually be penalized there by Apparition as he looks for the greedy kill onto Park and instead blinds up Apparition with a perfect combo to finish him off. Now, I think that was perfectly fine what they did originally. Now, the fact that they overstayed is rather bad because Diablo didn't have 100 souls, but it still gives them a little bit of XP. Really, you want to delay this as long as possible, and they're going to just trade things out here and continue soaking. It's an 8 versus 8, essentially, and there's nothing to be gained really by either team trying to get too aggressive here. Neither team has much of an advantage. And as someone pointed out, average Joes really could be double soaking with the ABBA, with the hat and body. Random Task going to come on in for Aegir. Aegir, however, will knock him out. Park coming on in, does have the tongue as well. And TJ trying to stop him with that science and will succeed. They do lose their front wall. Apparition coming on in now. And it's a full 5-man down here. In the meantime, we have a Leo continuing to push top and soak. But without Neil Peasants, his soaking is much slower, and he's not able to push their advantage without that Neil Peasants. Now Blue Laguna getting chunked, the stun coming on through, and Random Task does have the overpower. Blue Laguna will get on out, and Aegir Bombs will be slowed out of his mind from TJ. Taser trying to finish off with the plasma cutter, and Random comes on in, bodies him against the wall, and that is going to be a kill for average Joes. This is going to buy them a lot here because they can now push on in, take the rest of this tower down, and maybe even get the well here if they get really, really aggressive. So 10s have been hit. We should see the clone. We're going to see the lightning breath, I'm sure, and we're probably going to see the purification salvo. We have the shove, the entomb, the isolation. We have a scarlet Aegis. Just making sure. Scarlet Aegis, yes. So both in the bottom, they have their wells, both teams, and neither team is there. Leo is channeling right now. They will get the successful channel, and the channel in bottom is also successful. So neither team has the opportunity to fight for the objective in full. So Abba is top now, Park is up there, and Leo is in mid. So without the Neo Peasants, he's not really punishing them at this point. You can see Park at this point now will be losing XP entirely. Leo can come on down here, but he's actually going to be rotating on up. And with that mule, he'll be able to keep this all fine and dandy. Random will spot this out, but remember, this is a 4v3. And with a hat, it's a 4.5. Park coming on in, does come in bush stock down, but the stun from Random going to be on point. He's looking for the overpower. The silence is going to be great. TJ is going to be the focus here, but we got Leo in tow. The silence is going to be good enough for now, and the plasma cutter is doing work. Frostwind does drop the Scarlet Aegis. We have the Lightning Breath and the Purification Salvo coming out now, but Frostwind has nowhere to go because Leo drops that Entomb and say goodbye because the coffin has been tossed on back to the base. So this is going to be Value Town. We got Tad up top. You can see he's dropped these mines to actually push this in very significantly. And with Dahaka all the way bottom, he can't burn the burrow because it should still be on cooldown. He's going to lose this entire wall here in the meantime and the XP there. They'll now be picking up the sappers. And remember, Dahaka is coming on up here to try and get the XP, which means if he leaves immediately to support this, he loses all that XP, which is going to get the 13 advantage for Average Joe's. Blue Laguna getting melted in the backside. Random coming on in. Avatar has been popped. And we got Leo walking on out. Blue Laguna will make it out for now. TJ303 was tongued, but they are all looking fine. Blue Laguna waiting for the third win to pop. The Hyperion has been used. This stiff arm will toss him on back. And it is now reset this fight entirely. But Blue Laguna will get this channel without any opposition. We have the bottom now fully opened up. Random Task in a very interesting position, keeping his eyes on him. And without Leo, though, this is a very aggressive play to make. Remember, they're winning this XP war because Park is losing all the XP every single time he rotates. He's lost it once, twice, and now this is potentially third time. Ooh! Levikus just managing to miss the stun. Will be able to Wraith Walk on out. And bottom is going to be shoved in simultaneously. However, they don't have a very large wave here, and they need to be very careful. They know what's happening. Random Task pinging it, or at least Average Joe's in general pinging it. Hazer will be able to make it out. No! The stun does land. The overpower is there to help save the day. And the silence from TJ is absolutely perfect, keeping him from getting more aggressive. The tongue will occur, but Lightning Breath coming on in. We got Purification Salvo not going to be used at this point, so no combo. We do have double clones of the Phoenix, and the double Plasma Cutters slowed out of their minds. Purification Salvo ripping through them. And Happy Accidents have had this paint spilled all over the canvas at this point. That was a great turn. TJ dropping a beautiful silence. Then Random Task getting that Lightning Breath, keeping them all slow. I wished the Purification Salvo did come out, but it was even better. They waited for the Scarlet Aegis to be burned, expecting the Purification Salvo. They waited it out, got the double Phoenix, slowed them out of their damn minds, and then blew them on up. So this is going to be the opportunity for them to catch up. They get an extra shot, and they only take 3 shots. And they get double, which puts them at an 18 to 17. And by having this bot lane, this is going to be super hard for them to take back, especially with Avatar here. Phoenix is nowhere near him. He needs to come and support this. They can't fight this 5v2. The Mule will go on down. They do have a Lightning Breath available, but unfortunately, no Purification Salvo.
Heroes, I have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battleground center.
So Park is in a good position now to continue soaking for his team, but 16 versus 14 is a very likely scenario here. Tad actually putting on a little bit of a show there in the meantime and dancing it up, waiting. Will be able to heal and keep everything topped off. Remember, he does have the mule. Mid is only a little bit damaged in the meantime. So this is really a waiting game. If they can get the 16 advantage, the next objective is going to be a real make or break. Because it's only one, but if they get some kills here, they can open up the map by taking several of these keeps. Blue Laguna coming on in, will get the stun, completing the quest, which is going to be very, very beneficial for him and his team. So only one objective this time around. This is the optimal scenario for Happy Accidents. They have a significantly less to lose and give up. Remember, it's going to be 16 versus 15 here very shortly. Random task, getting in position, gonna watch. Blue Laguna will actually be overpowering charge. We got Leficus coming on in. The jump will happen before the silence. And in the meantime, Hazer will pick up the bot, which is going to put him in the lead at this point. 16 to 15, 14 to 17 in terms of core shots. So we have both siege camps spawning in about a minute. Top is available. And really, the name of the game here for Happy Accidents is wait till 16. On the other side, you got this happening. Purification Salvo coming on out. Blue Laguna trying to come on in, but the shove from TJ going to send Laguna back to his keep, and Park has fully committed simultaneously. So this is even more XP they're going to be losing. They can go and push this structure in, and really it's going to be Value Town. However, they did burn the Lightning Breath and the Purification Salvo. Top lane is going to get themselves a tower, and they're going to lose all that XP as I pointed out previously. That's a lot of waves of XP that have been lost. In the meantime, Blue Laguna not going to actually be wallbang, does have the leap on out, and that is going to be finally 16s for Happy Accidents. Now, taking a look at what we have here, we got the Elongated Tongue, the Paint Them Red, Radiance, Mirror Ball, and Dwarf Launch. We also have the Primal Rage, Giddy Up, Harsh Discipline, Illusionist, and Healing Static. On the other side, we have the Hellfire with the Debilitating Flames, Virulent Reaction with the Super Strain. We have the Auxiliary Shields and the Photonic Weaponry, Soma Transference, and the Adrenaline Boost, and we get the Wraith Walk and the Ominous Wraith. So they pick it up. And next objective is only a single one. This is going to really show who is scaling here and who is not. Blue Laguna coming on in for the backside. We got the Wraithwall coming in, reducing the damage. Coming on in hot, Blue Laguna. We get Park on the back with a beautiful silence. The stun! Levick getting really low. And Hazer will have to try and escape from it. He does manage, but TJ303 will be going on down, as does Hazer, and it's a 2-0. Tad looking for the kill, will not be able to deliver with the clone, and Happy Accidents coming on back in hot with the equal talent advantage. Now, top still opened up, not pushing in very hard. This is where they're going to be able to get Sapper Camp, and that Sapper Camp is going to help them get potentially this keep, as they have 15 seconds to push on in here, and they have a Rainer and a Li Ming. So they have some good damage to get this tower down and get the Sapper onto the actual keep. As long as random doesn't go down here, Happy Accidents will not be in kind of a checkmate position. In the meantime, we do have Leo in the top lane. Mid lane is not being soaked by anyone. This is a critical mistake by Average Joes. They can have someone hatting it, the Abathur, or they can have Leo actually soaking it. Blue Laguna, some T-Tour action happening. We get the slow on Blue Laguna. Random task going to be knocked down back by Aegir Bombs. They're looking to continue fighting here as they have generally the upper hand. Random task going to be slow though. The stun onto him. The super strain coming on through. And Park coming on into the backside. It's a 3v5. Everyone committed. And random task will be falling down. He does have 100 souls. Will be coming on back. And we got Leficus coming on in hot. But they walk away with 100 souls. This is huge for Happy Accidents. Now, Dahaka does not have Burrow. They can actually take this. They have a Purification Salvo available, but it's not going to matter because TJ303 is going to be obliterated and sent to another dimension. Abathur getting really cheeky. Tad going to be walking on up. We'll get just a minor interrupt here. Random will be able to get here. No, not in time. But Park will be overpowered. They might be able to get a kill here. Plasma Cutter coming on through. Leficus, though, missing the drain completely. And they'll have to walk away and accept the 10 damage that's going to be administered to their core. 3 more shots are looking to be walked on in. These 3 shots are the game-winning shots. They need to clear this up ASAP. There's the AoE damage to secure it. There's the root, though. Diablo has been obliterated, but only 1 sapper remains, and they will be able to survive until they get 20s at this point. Leficus wraith walking around, but should be pulling on back. Average Joes are still in this. They need to just get 20, which they should be able to do. And once they get 20, they just need to win a fight. Oh, wait. They're going to go for the boss. So this is an all or nothing situation here. TJ! There's a shove, but it's not all the way in. And TJ will be taken on down. They bait out the boss. They get the kill. And that is going to be GG. There is no silence here. They're going to have to get on in here ASAP. There's the double Phoenix Purification Salvo coming on out. The Scarlet Age is going to deny the damage with Leo sitting on there as long as he can. The damage is reduced. Hazer is coming on in, but it's not going to matter. The double clone and Happy Accidents will walk away with the boss, wrapping up this game, and Happy Accidents taking the 2-0. All right, we're going to take a look at some of that damage that was dished out. We had Hazer hitting 72,000 damage. Air bombs coming on in with 52. Apparition with 47k. And even Tad on that Abathur hitting 45k. Now, healing output combined Abathur and Stukov were still actually beat by Whitemane, which is not necessarily what you want to see here. That comes out to be 60,000 healing. They're about 61,000 healing versus about 69.6k. Finally, for tanking, Random Task tanking a boatload that game, hitting 106,000 damage tanked. The Leo only tanking 42,000 damage. I feel that the Leo pick got him very little value. The lack of the Neo Peasants heavily hurt them because Leo could have double soaked with an Abathur to ensure literally not an ounce of soak was missed. And Dahaka would have been so penalized every time he burrowed in for a fight. They would be losing 2 waves of XP each time if he had taken Neo Peasants. Instead, he gets the Ghastly Reach. Doesn't really do a whole lot overall. I mean, Leo literally sitting at the bottom in terms of damage output and the bottom of tanking output. So really wasn't a value town pick for Average Joes. And like I said, Neo Peasants, they get the double wave soak, which would have potentially kept them further ahead throughout the game. They probably would have had an entire level increase in comparison to where they were at. Overall, though, both teams played that pretty well. And the series in general was played pretty well by both teams. Now, once again, Happy Accidents did walk away with the 2-0, but I don't feel like Average Joes were completely outclassed. And I feel like Division A East might be, based on my casting, one of the hardest divisions in general. Division A East has teams that are doing as well as average Joes are doing in terms of in-game performance, but average Joes is only 10th on the actual standings right now. And Happy Accidents are number 4 in the standings right now. So you can see the standings of which only include 14 teams. Teams are really that close in Division A East. This really feels like the most competitive, or one of the most competitive divisions that I've casted. So average Joe shouldn't walk away feeling terrible. They should at least know that they looked pretty good overall. And I especially like that second game draft. In general, I don't know how I feel about the Leo, but overall, the draft made a lot of sense. We're going to see if we can get a quick interview before the second series of the night, which is DG Wheelchair versus For the Kill.